External traffic is becoming more crucial than ever for Amazon sellers as competition intensifies and costs rise on the platform. In this video, you will learn how to drive high-intent customers from Google and Meta to your Amazon listings using PixelMe's patented technology that tracks conversions and feeds data back to optimize your campaigns. If you want to try PixelMe for yourself, and subscribe to their service, you will find the link below in the description. And don't forget to get your first free month with a coupon code OrangeClick_monthly. You will find this below in the description.
Hello, Jim. Welcome to Orange Click YouTube channel. I'm really happy to have you here today with me because you're going to highlight the importance of external traffic and explain how does it even work. And also you help us to understand why PixelMe tool is so crucial for Amazon sellers who want to run external traffic to their Amazon products to boost their organic rankings. But first things first, Jim, tell us a little bit about your background and also give us a general overview of what PixelMe is and how does it usually help Amazon sellers.
Yeah, awesome. LISETT, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on. So, a little overview about myself. I've been working with Carbon 6 now for about a year and a half, maybe even closer to 2 years. Time really flies when you're working in the space. But I've been working there, yeah, for just about a year and a half now. And my current role, I am the customer success manager. I monitor both revenue recovery and advertising as well. I work as the advertising specialist. And in my current role, really it's working with a lot of clients in dealing with their ads, understanding external traffic, their entire marketing schematic, and seeing how, they could boost their sales on Amazon in a number of different ways. Your second question on how PixelMe works. Well, PixelMe is really just a tool that focuses on driving external traffic and pushing those conversions from Amazon into your ad provider, whether that be Google or whether that be Meta. So I think that's going to be a huge thing that will support a lot of ranking and profitability strategies on your Amazon Seller Central.
Nice. Thank you very much for the introduction. And before,
Mhm.
I know you prepared some slides for us as well to kind of give us a
Yeah.
better overview of all these different topics we just mentioned. But before we do that, just a quick question. What do you think about the importance of external traffic today in this moment? Has this importance increased over time, stay kind of disabled as we have seen in the past year or so? Or are you kind of predicting with the tool that the importance is even increasing in the future due to the changes on Amazon Marketplace, economical wise, or just in general?
Yeah, I think the importance of external traffic is so huge. Just like Pixelme aside and Amazon aside, like if you are selling something and you're running some type of product that needs traffic or needs people to view it, there's so many different avenues that you could get that from. You could get it from social media, you could get it from Google, you get it from influencers, you could be, on the side of the street kind of dealing with, getting people into or knowing about your product online. There's so many different ways to foster and garner external traffic. So it's such a huge thing. And even more so today, especially when you relate it to Amazon, there's so much noise on where you could buy a product, right? Like simply put, if you're looking for something on Google, there's going to be plenty of links there, right? If you're browsing on, Instagram, Facebook, social media, there's always going to be something shouting at you like a targeted ad or something like that. That external traffic is so valuable to any seller to make sure that they're going to increase their sales. And, even more so now with, the shifts in economics and this and that, CPCs, always fluctuating, especially during Q4 or what have you. I think external traffic is such a huge and important thing to first and foremost leverage, and two, to just really track, right? Track the success of it.
Sounds good. Well, thanks a lot for this comment. So, Jim, as I said, you prepared some materials for us. So, share your screen and then let's listen to you and let's learn the best things we need to know about external traffic and also using PixelMe.
As I mentioned before, my name is Jim Fan, success manager here with Carbon 6. So I really got into the space working on Amazon when I was working for a manufacturer in mobile accessories and electronics. That kind of was like my foot in the door to Amazon, because really our main source of revenue came from Amazon. Today, I'm actively working with a seven-figure Amazon brand and supporting their overall business and growth from a really from a consulting perspective. So anything from inventory management, revenue recovery, and advertising and all of that stuff. So in my current role, what I'm doing, I'm managing over $2 billion worth of GMV, anything from revenue recovery all the way to advertising as well. So that's all within the 1P space, 3P space, and then a little bit of Walmart as well. And then in terms of everything advertising, I supported a lot with PixelMe, everything for Google, Meta, right? So getting that all set up and launched thousands of advertising campaigns supporting in different strategies, budget for both on Amazon as well. So anything pay per click on Amazon, and then obviously the off Amazon traffic through PixelMe. So definitely took a big part in building that external advertising piece through Carbon 6. So just diving into the external traffic. So this is my day-to-day with everything on advertising, right? The goal is really to diversify and meet potential customers where they are on, meet customers at the point when they're browsing online, right? That's going to be the ultimate goal of external traffic. So we want to take a user from Google, from Meta, from Instagram, from any platform that they could potentially be on, and have them look at your product, right? Whether they're just learning about the product, doing a quick Google search of like how to or what is the best, things like that, phrases like that is what we ideally want to target and get them to look directly on your product page and learn about that specific product, that niche on your actual Amazon product page, right? So the goal is not to have an Amazon seller rely solely on Amazon's PPC to get all their sales and profit, but it's really to drive external traffic to support them in staying relevant just outside of the Amazon ecosystem. Kind of going into the current marketing and advertising landscape of probably every Amazon seller, the majority of sellers that probably already do. In this section here, this is obviously the product listing, making sure that you have a really good product listing, 4 stars and above, all the reviews, ratings, descriptions, things like that. But in terms of what they are currently already doing is the PPC, leveraging PPC and making sure that, your cost per click is low, and leading that ad straight to the actual product page. So that's probably what a lot of sellers already do. Now, naturally, with more external traffic, that's going to be social media. So you have your TikTok, you have your Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, what have you, driving that traffic to your Amazon page as well. That's kind of like the natural next step in terms of growth and getting more people to listen about or listen to you to talk about your product. And then from there, Amazon obviously has their next layer of marketing. Amazon supported in creating their own DSP platform. So sellers found a lot of success here by leveraging Amazon's first party data in driving that traffic again right back to Amazon, and again targeting people during their internet browsing journey, and then using an impression based model through DSP. Brands have the ability to diversify and bring top of funnel awareness straight to their Amazon page, right? So this is a great way for that top of funnel awareness for a lot of brands, right? So DSP has been leveraged a lot in the last, I would say, 5 years, give or take. And then finally, this is where ultimately I would love for everybody to be is really taking a look at using this entire scope, where all Amazon sellers are layering in different streams of external traffic, right? So there's the social media, there's obviously the PPC sponsored, there's the Amazon DSP, and then there's also the flow through PixelMe, right? So the flow through PixelMe could happen in two ways right now. So that would be through a simple Google search or a Meta advertisement. Right. So that's kind of the goal. And this is where you're finally going to be meeting that customer where they are during their purchasing journey. Right. It's ideal. You want to make sure that all of this data and all these signals are feeding to you in order to best optimize that total advertising cost of sales. So tacos is what we like to call it. And I think that's pretty much what the industry calls it as well. PixelMe is that piece that will allow you to do this through Google and through Meta. Right. So I think this is ultimately the grand scheme of marketing for any basic Amazon seller that really gets to the point where they're trying to grow even more and optimize even more. So a huge thing that I want to cover today is the importance of external traffic. This is in a way, kind of summing up the previous slide for brands, for sellers, competition for Amazon is way, way tougher than ever. You think about it, you know, besides uh, Amazon itself, there's so many other e-commerce platforms out there. You have TikTok Shop that's making a big boom right now. You have Walmart e-commerce. You have Shopify, your own D2C website, things like that, that is constantly going to be competing with your Amazon page, right? So, especially if your Amazon is really big already and a big part of your revenue, external traffic is going to be or should be very important to you. So you want to leverage your traffic from Google, and a lot of users are there, right? Simply put, when you're looking for anything, whether it be a product, whether it be, a health related reason, whether it be just anything in general, users likely are already on Google doing something, right? And then obviously the secondary being some type of social media platform. Most, if not all, people already have it. So Instagram, Facebook, I think that's going to be a huge part to leverage as well. And you want to drive them to Amazon because the more traffic to your page, the better, right? The ultimate goal here is just to get eyeballs on your page, and they're not just eyeballs that are, just casually browsing. They are high intentional eyeballs, right? You want high intentional views on your page to ultimately convert and support you with some type of purchase. So, Amazon, we know that Amazon wants to keep more people on their platform and buying. That's how they make money, right? Any purchase or anything like that, they charge that seller a fee, and that's exactly how they make money, whether it be FBA fee, what have you. It doesn't matter if they buy your product or not. That's not what they really care about sometimes. Regardless, they get a cut from every single product that gets sold, right? So they're invested in this, and they're invested in rewarding the sellers for driving this type of traffic, right? So much as so, you know, they give you like a 10% kickback. I'll talk about that a little bit on the next slide. But I know a huge call out here that a lot, and this just happened recently, so it's not already in the slide, or I haven't made a slide about it, but because it was so recent, there's a big call out where Amazon completely pulled out of Google shopping ads, right? So no longer at the top will there be Amazon sponsored ads. It was what, last month, I believe it was in July of 2025. And they did this before. They did this back in April of 2022. And a big theme that happened there is that, we noticed a lower competition overall on Google ad spend, better ad return in investments, lower CPCs. So that's always going to be a great thing. Better ad positions, right? So your ad is going to serve a little bit better there. And then higher impressions and click-through rates, right? So things like that we've seen in the past happen before. And because they just removed themselves from Google Shopping altogether, I think that's going to be a big thing as well, and how you're going to better, get a better bang for your buck when it comes to spending a dollar on Google. Okay. So in terms of Amazon and how they're going to invest in that external traffic and really, I guess, technically investing in you, I think a big call out here is that 10% brand referral bonus, right? I think that's huge. You as a seller, you get up to a 10% rebate of your product sale. And it comes back to you as a brand referral bonus. This is all tracked in your Amazon attribution. They know that that sale came from some type of external click, right? Amazon will know that. And honestly, Amazon, one of Google's largest ad spenders. I know previously spoken, they did come out of it. So previously, they were one of Google's largest ad spenders. In the next couple months, next couple years, we'll see if they will get back into Google Shopping ads. Who knows? But in the meantime, it opens the doors for a lot of opportunity for Amazon sellers to leverage that on Google, to leverage that external traffic. PixelMe. This is where PixelMe really steps in and supports a lot. It's the industry leading platform for off Amazon advertising, right? Simply put, we have a patented technology that optimizes for conversions. I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things that's so important is that external traffic. But what do we do with that data now, right? We're feeding that data into Google, right? From Amazon into Google. That's kind of unheard of, right? But because of that patented technology, we are the only ones that actually do it. So using that Google certified click tracker, we are a Google partner. Within PixelMe as well, we have a bunch of different automations that we've leveraged, right? The last thing we want to do is run a campaign and have it overspend money and have that shoot us in the foot. Right, that's the last thing we kind of want to do. Yes, you will have dedicated ad managers that kind of work with everything, but this is that extra spot check to reduce that human error. Right, we have a bunch of AI integrations, retargeting technologies, so it's super important. Right, making sure that PixelMe is optimized to the best of its ability in order to not have wasted ad spend. And we have that conversation as well with you, that human interaction where you're going to be talking with somebody and working with somebody on our team. So how is all of this important? Well, we know it's important because we pretty much became one of Amazon's first third-party advertising widget to be added to your Seller Central. So this was, I believe this was Prosper, or one of the big trade shows that we were a part of. We were a partner and sponsor to that trade show, and it was really neat to have PixelMe's logo up there on the board as one of the embedded apps, the widgets that is in Seller Central. So very good to know that we are a trusted partner of Amazon as well. So PixelMe explained from a high level. I have a whole demo on the customer journey here, but this is again just a simple high level. So coming from Google, Meta, TikTok is still slowly being built out, but Google and Meta are really our primary sources of traffic as of right now. So that traffic is getting picked up, those signals getting picked up, impressions, clicks, what have you, fed into PixelMe, and then PixelMe feeds that into that Amazon attribution. Now going the other way back, Amazon's conversion, again, I mentioned earlier, it's kind of unheard of where Amazon shares that data and shares that conversion into any ad platform, right? Being Google, Meta, or TikTok. Now through PixelMe, the patent technology, we're able to feed that back. So now Amazon's one conversion for that one respective click gets fed back into Google, right? Or two conversions if they're buying two or what have you, gets fed back into Google, Meta, or TikTok in this case, right? So super important to understand. We could definitely dive into all of this more. Some of it is proprietary information, but once we get there, we could definitely have that conversation on a more technical level, but super high level for now. I'll get into the products now. So products that don't work, products that do work. Obviously, we want to see you succeed. So there's a bunch of products, and it isn't a perfect science. None of this here is a perfect science, but I'd like to think that our team internally gives quite a solid recommendation on what would work and what wouldn't work. So what doesn't work? Again, it's not a perfect science. I've seen it work best with 4.3 stars and above. But it's not to say that if you have a 3-star or a 3.8 star item, it won't work incredibly well either, right? It's not to say that, it's just that it has a higher shot at working with the higher rated stars. Now, from what we also recommend, we do want to stay away from the more shoppable items. So think anything clothes, jewelry, gift boxes, things like that. It's not to say that they don't work, because they can work, right? But we do want to stay away from them if you are landing on your respective actual product page. Right. The goal here, that you could kind of twist this for clothes, jewelry, and gift boxes, send it to a storefront page. For example, if it's a Halloween costume storefront page that you're working with, send it there versus sending it to an actual banana costume page, right? Something like that might be a little bit too niche and a little bit more difficult and shoppable, right? And then the big thing, keep your product competitive. If you're way higher than the rest of the competition, being like I don't know, a $50 product in a $20 product competitive landscape, make sure that the price is comparable to other competitors out there. And then the big things of the products that does work, you want to keep everything 4.3 stars and above. Think about items that are more of a need versus a want, right? A want being shoppable, a need being something that people need. For example, a hammer, right? A simple hammer to nail something in. That's something that people need, and it's easy, straight to the point. Higher price items, this definitely supports a lot with profitability, right? You'll definitely get per click, you'll get a higher conversion. Lower price items typically focus on rank. This is something that we could definitely support as well. Once the rank gets to a point where it's very high and favorable, that's where it starts to become a little bit more profitable as well, right? And then focus on items that people tend to reorder. So we do very well in supporting campaigns with supplements, cosmetics, products, protein powders, things like that is where we really support and see take off a lot. And then a big thing as well that I've seen pretty much throughout the entire lifetime of PixelMe that work really well is branded keywords, right? So shifting your sale from, getting a sale on your website to shifting to getting a sale on Amazon, right? I think in certain situations, Amazon's conversions will always be higher. And then if you could, suffice that and get the traffic to land on Amazon, the conversion rate will go up on Amazon as well. So branding keywords, especially if you have brand recognition, will definitely be a huge help. In terms of automations, I mentioned earlier, just to help out with human error, we're obviously advertising at a mass, right? So our customer success managers have a handful of campaigns that they're managing at any given time. So any automation will help with that human error. It works in parallel in order to make sure that nothing is missed. The last thing, again, I mentioned earlier is overspend and pour money into something that doesn't work. Right. So there's a laundry list of different automations that we could have as well. Obviously, you could go through that with your respective customer success managers to kind of walk through and understanding what works, what to keep on, what to keep off, and things like that. So now I'll kind of walk us through the demo. The goal for this demo is to walk us through the entire customer journey, what that looks like from a Google click, and then onto the Amazon page, that product, and then how that translates into the PixelMe dashboard as well. Okay, so here's one of our partners. Simply put, they have a good, highly rated product, copper compression wrist brace. They have great brand recognition, 4.5 stars and above. They have over 14,000 reviews. 2,000 bought in the last month. A good amount of pictures here, right? They have a couple of videos as well, sponsored by Drew Brees. Their price point, obviously, a little bit lower than what we would hope, but this is a product. This is a great example of a product that, even though it is at a lower price point, volume speaks a lot for it, right? We're able to drive a lot of traffic, and the volume speaks a lot for the success of everything here. Okay. And then as you scroll down, if you take a look here, they have a strong description that maps out everything that a client might be looking for in a hand brace. And then as you scroll down even more, they have a ton of A+ content as well in this area in order to support the case for what their product is. Okay. Now, the customer journey in this case, very simply put, if I have hand pain and I need a wrist brace of the sorts, I'm gonna go over Google. I'm gonna type into Google gloves for hand pain, right? So now you have the Google sponsored ads here, but then at the bottom, sorry, the Google sponsored shopping ads at the top here, but at the bottom here, you'll have a Google search ad, right? And this is exactly where PixelMe is going to place your ad. So the perfect example for copper compression and what they're doing is exactly this right here, right? So it'd be best carpal tunnel gloves. So there's a dynamic keyword insertion there, wrist compression sleeve, all this stuff. So this is exactly how your ad will look. So from a mobile perspective, and then also from a desktop perspective. Okay. So this is the goal, is to have a user click onto this page and then ultimately land onto your product page here. Now, after they add to cart and buy now, this is all tracked. So within the actual PixelMe dashboard, all of this is completely tracked, right? So anything from impressions, clicks, and your total ad spend is all reflected here. This is all pulled from Google. Your add to cart and your purchases, this is all pulled from Amazon. So prior to starting any PixelMe campaign, those are really, simply put, the two things that you'll need to add to this dashboard. You'll need to add your Google Ads account for us to manage and run your ad. And then you're also going to need to add your Amazon account, so your Seller Central attribution and your Amazon attribution, in order for us to pull this data. And then from there, really neat in terms of what we're able to do. We're able to kind of put everything together and run all those metrics, showcase everything here with the ad metrics, making sure that your purchases, your ad spend are all set up here. We even have a keyword rank tracker as well. I think this is something that's really neat. You could go from a lifetime perspective, in the last month, in the last day even, right? So a really neat thing there. And then When it comes to actually the keywords and the conversions, we also showcase the keywords all the way down to a conversion level, right? So any one keyword that is active here, for example, these two branded keywords, they have their respective purchases and add to carts there. So I think this is a really neat thing to have and showcase in order to track that data and how to and then from there having it better optimize that respective campaign. Obviously, when it comes down to everything, you're going to be whoever it is, you'll be working with a success manager. They'll walk you through all of this on whether it be a fully managed service through PixelMe or a self-service service on PixelMe. But regardless, you will still always have somebody in your back pocket to help you leverage the dashboard, use the automation, and make sure the software works well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jim, for introducing PixelMe and also showing how it works from the customer's perspective, because I think it's super important to understand where the customers are coming from, what are their behavior, because usually we just talk about like advertising, but we more so put ourselves still into the advertiser's perspective rather putting ourselves to the customer shoes and really understanding how customers are searching and buying things. And as you said, this external traffic thing is so important because these buyers have such a high buying intent that you want to be in the right place at the right time and being able to target them. So thanks a lot for explaining everything to us. Well, obviously you have tons of experience using PixelMe and also in advertising in general. So if you would say like let's say highlight one biggest mistake you see, maybe you have done in the past, but you also see other sellers doing when trying to use external traffic, especially when using PixelMe, what would you highlight so we could help others to avoid it?
Listen, I think that's a great question. I think the single most important thing for running a successful PixelMe campaign would be product, right? I've seen a lot of products fail mainly because, they might not be ready simply because they might not have enough reviews. Their stars might be too low or it might be too shoppable, right? So on our end, before running anything, we always like doing a sweep of your product catalog, right? Make sure that there's a complete audit set up to identify what products work, what products don't work, right? So again, as mentioned earlier, it's not a perfect science. None of it is a perfect science, and that's marketing for you, quite frankly. But I think the most important thing to stress is understanding if the product is a fit or not, and if it's not a fit, then make sure that we're upfront and honest about that, and help you focus and rely on what does work.
No, I absolutely love the collaboration fact that you work together with the seller to make sure, because in the end of the day, you are the experts of the external traffic and PixelMe, and based on your experience, you're able to say that, hey, we think it might go this and that. And I mean, in the end of the day, sellers can decide if they want to take the risk still, even if you say maybe no, because who knows, sometimes miracles also happen. But I think it's nice that you collaborate with them in that way. And who wants to learn more about the audit and the whole program, we have the link in the video description below as well to check more or to reach out to your team to ask any questions about PixelMe. So thanks again, Jim, for joining me today and giving us an overview of the external traffic and also how to use PixelMe. And I hope to see you soon on our channel.
Thanks, Lizette. Thanks for having me.
I hope this video will help you to drive high-intent customers from Google and Meta to your Amazon listings using external traffic strategies. If you want to try PixelMe, subscribe to their service using the link below in the description. And also in the description, you will find a free month code, the code which you can enter and get 1 month for free with PixelMe. And the coupon code is OrangeClickMonthly. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel, and leave any comment or question you have in the comment section below. And now I recommend you to watch another video where you will learn more strategies on driving external traffic to your Amazon product listings. So check this out.